Welcome to DS Trucks. In this video, I show you guys how I made $800 in one day with just a pickup truck and basic hand tools. Here is a look at some of the hand tools we use. We got a hedge trimmer, a chainsaw, all battery powered hand tools. There's an extended chainsaw right there, and it's all Milwaukee. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take you guys on some footage that we actually filmed a while ago. But comment below, let me know what you think about this video. Here is the clip. Roll it. Thank you, Dorian Ford, for loaning me a truck. I really do need it. I'm actually about to use it right now, and time to load up some stuff. All right, all loaded up, and I have to say again, thank you, Dorian Ford. But check out what we got. We got our Milwaukee Super Sawzalls. There's two underneath there. We got our 12 amp hour batteries. Those are 9 amp hours, 2 9 amps, and 2 12 amps. We got our weed whacker, but we're just gonna use the chainsaw attachment. Oh, there you go. And in the back seat, we got our chainsaw, our leaf blowers, our extendable chainsaw, and our hedge trimmer. But anyway, see you guys at the job site. Alright guys, here's a shot of the tree that we are taking out. And this might be the tree that takes me out, because look how thick the base of this tree is. This is going to take a good amount of time, and I might not be able to do it. We'll see. It's going to be quite a job. So anyway, stay tuned to see how this turns out. But again, thank you, Dorian Ford, for hooking me up with this F-150. Don't worry, I'm not going to be pulling the tree with the F-150. But whew, hopefully I can do what needs to be done. Haven't failed yet at any removals, but this might be the one where I finally meet my match. Alright, now that we got the tree down to this point, time to excavate around the tree and take apart the root structure so that this client can plant another tree here next year. Alright guys, the root structure is coming out. We just took out this chunk of root, and there's the piece. We're just working our way around the entire tree until everything is cut loose. Alright, there's another one cut free from the ground. Just keep on moving along. Alright guys, not today. Not today. This is not the day that this tree beats me. As you see, it's pretty much out of the ground. The old technique worked pretty good. Just got one more cut. Just one more hole down there, right there. It's got a good amount of tension on it. So let's make that last cut and it'll be out of the ground. And again, thanks a lot, Dorian Ford. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Alright, and there she goes. Now, they all eventually fall. It's just a matter of how long. And eventually, one of these trees won't come out, and I'll have to give up. But not today. This one's met his match. It's met the tree reaper, and that is Stokes Outdoor. And this is the final resting place for the tree. Thanks a lot for using our service. Alright, so there you have it. So that whole job was for $800. Now, I was able to get that price because I really was just able to offer the client a final price. Now, I have to admit, I was intimidated by the job. I was definitely intimidated by the job. I didn't know if I'd be able to dig that tree out of there. I was one of the biggest trees I've ever done. As far as the base is concerned, it wasn't that tall. And to be honest, I don't really do big trees. I just kind of do smaller ones. But the base of the tree was so thick, and I knew it was gonna be rooted so good. But I did, and I wasn't really sure, so I was definitely taking a risk. I wasn't sure if my tools, and if just by using hand tools I would be able to get it out of the ground. Now, I didn't want to use the truck and rip it out. Number one, it was an F-150, but I could have gotten an RF-250 out there and pulled on it. But in doing that, you're going to be pulling so much of the soil out of the ground. You would have, if the truck would have even done it, because it probably wouldn't have enough torque or whatever to do it. It would have ripped so much of the ground out and caused potential damage to the house and damage to the yard that it would, to me, it's not worth it. Where the way I did it, I left a lot of the root structure in the ground, and that stuff's gonna rot away in a couple years, and they can replant. Now, if they want to replant where the root structure is, then it'll have to just kind of cut a root here and there to put a plant specifically off to the side if there's a large root still under the ground. But to disturb that much of the ground, you got to think how much of that root structure spreads out, and how you really don't want to have to dig up that much of the ground. So I've never had a customer complain about that, about the size of the hole or anything. I've had people replant right into the hole that was dug for different various sizes of trees and bushes that we've removed without any issues. So I think at the end of the day, the root structure that was left behind is going to rot away and actually add some nutrients to the soil as it decomposes. So I was able to offer the client one price. To me, that sells a lot better, even if you're in a situation of fear. If you don't know and you just want to charge per hour, then if you offer that hourly rate, it doesn't sell well. So if I would have just told him, $75 an hour, and because I'm not sure, then chances are he would have heard the number $75 an hour, and he would have got a little freaked out and didn't want to do it. Because most people can't wrap their head around, paying someone $75 an hour. So at the end of the day, everything said and done, I was able to achieve essentially $75 an hour after disposal. Probably, honestly, a little bit more per hour, because like I say, it was probably like 4 or 5 hours of work. I did have help from a trailer and a couple guys. So when you're offering like an hourly rate, it can be difficult to offer an hourly rate, because people who think in terms of hourly rates think in terms of, they're hiring you as an employee. So if you had to justify like $75 an hour or $80 an hour, you'd almost have to be like, it'd be a lot easier to do that as like an electrician or an accountant or something like that. But as an outdoor guy with just a truck, it's hard to sell yourself at $75 an hour, because in their eyes, you're probably worth $30 an hour on the high side. You'd have a hard time even selling yourself at $30 an hour, going to like a residential setting and saying, we're going to charge you hourly. And then there's an issue too. It's like, if they don't know how much you're going to charge and you're just charging hourly, that same thing that might give you a little confidence, knowing, hey, at least I won't get in a hole. If it takes me longer than expected, then I know I'll be covered, so I have to charge hourly. But at the same time, that person's thinking, well, I'm going to potentially be paying this guy to work on this tree for 40 hours for all I know. So, just offering that one price, that final price, and taking that risk, you're going to get it done. If it takes you 40 hours, then it takes you 40 hours. But chances are, if you know what you're doing, it's not going to take you that long. So that's kind of what I've been doing, And what happens is you can make more than $75 an hour. You can make $100 an hour. You can make $200 an hour, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And I've never had a client ask me, how did you come up with that price, or how much are you making, or none of that. So you're able to make good money per hour, basic hand tools. How do you do it? My way of doing it is getting away from offering any kind of hourly rates and just having a little bit of confidence and faith and taking some chances. and just offering a price. The price is this much per square foot. The price is this much to remove this bush. And that's it. It's not, oh, give me this per hour, because that to me doesn't work. If there's going to be a big cleanup or something like that where we got to take our mowers and our and whatever, cut down some overgrown grass, whatever, I'm going to excess. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. Thank you, boy. He just spread some grass seeds. I'm going to quote that job. I'm going to estimate how long it's going to take me, and I'm going to shoot for 75 an hour. But I'm not necessarily going to tell the client that I'm shooting for 75 an hour. I'm just going to tell them the price, and I'm going to aim for 75 an hour. I might make a little more. I might make a little less. But the goal is to make that 75 an hour. Now, that being said, if I would have went to remove that tree and it didn't take me, but like for whatever reason, let's just say the tree was just rotted out underneath, and I went and pushed the tree. I went and pushed on the tree, and it just fell over, and I didn't even have to spend 2 hours excavating around the tree and cutting out the root structure. Now, in that situation, it was that much simpler and easier. I would charge less money. I would go back to the client, and I would put the savings onto them. If I misjudged the quote and it was extremely in my favor, I would turn around and offer the discount to the client. I would charge a fair price. Now, if it's a little bit in my favor, then that's okay. But if I'm like at like $300 an hour, I might go ahead and most likely will go ahead and offer the client if I thought something was going to be a bit more difficult than it was, a lot more difficult than it was, and it ended up being an easy task. I'll go ahead and offer that savings to the client. But anyway, this is DS Trucks. This is how to make money with just a pickup. Comment below, share the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day. Over and out. Bye.